We did a video called Fallout from Fukushima. I went to the president of the company and I said, Fallout 4 is coming out. It is the most anticipated game of the year. It's been a long time, huh? I said, Fallout 3 was game of the year. Fallout 4 is coming out. We should go to Fukushima, Japan, do a mini documentary on the disaster and where it's currently at and call it Fallout from Fukushima. We're going to capture all that SEO. So everyone's searching for Fallout's going to find our documentary, and it creates a cool real world view for what these video games are, and video games are popular. And they said, do it. Boom, 500,000 views right at launch. And they said, no, make more trans kids. I said, here's my idea for a series. Let's create mini documentaries based on video games. So Call of Duty, let's make a Call of Duty mini doc that explores modern warfare and combat. And we film it with shots. We put a GoPro on the weapon and we film first-person POV training and make it look like the video game. That way when people are playing the video game on their board, and they said, no, we want feminism, mission-driven storytelling, and none of it ever worked. That is, with hundreds of millions of dollars pouring in, the goal was never to build successful media. It was to build narrative and pay to inject it into the culture, which is what I was warning last November when I said, this is what Democrats are going to do. They lost the election. Now what they're going to do is they tried the corporate route, build a company, dump the money, see if it works. Didn't work. Now they're going to find liberal podcasters and they're going to say, you got a big channel. Let's give you $10 million in advertisement. Your face will be everywhere. And what's fascinating to me is that the right, with domination in the space for now, the podcast presidency they call it, have not been utilizing their resources to take cultural ubiquity. This is what I don't get. Did you guys see the Times Square thing of all the black men's faces?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
You didn't see that? Let me see if I can pull that up. Black men's faces, Times Square. What is this? How do I find this? Black men in Times Square? That's not it. Oh, okay, it is. Yeah, I can pull this one up, I guess.
Mr. Price.
Okay, that's annoying. I don't want to pull that one up. Is this it? I don't know. This might be it. Let's just pull this in and see what happens. There you go. So all of a sudden, every billboard in Times Square that you can buy turns into a picture of a black man's face. And it's some like art campaign or whatever. I was talking to my buddies about this 10 years ago. How do we buy every billboard in Times Square all at once? Because that's like a big flash. Everybody notices, and exactly what happened with this. The right won a podcast battle helping Donald Trump win, and they all remained independent, isolated, didn't do big ad runs. They're not doing what Coca-Cola does. What I think we're going to see next, I think, we bought billboards. Timcast IRL is on billboards all across the country, and many people have seen them if you're driving through, especially the Rust Belt where we bought a bunch. Very expensive to do. It's because I firmly believe in a year, you are going to see insert liberal podcast all over Times Square, on YouTube, nonstop. You're going to pull up, Asmongold. You're going to want to watch, he's just a streamer, right? Politically unaffiliated, but leans kind of in the Trump direction. And whenever you click his video, it's going to autoplay a commercial from a liberal podcast or the liberal podcast itself. These big companies, they can afford to give Rachel Maddow $20 million. They're going to go to Google and say, we want to buy a big package. Let me tell you guys about last year. We spent a lot of money on Google ads. And Google, to this day, will not stop emailing me saying, please talk to us and do a deal with us. We'll cut you a deal. We'll prioritize all this stuff. Because you spend a lot of money. It makes sense. But we don't spend as much as these people can. And so we might do like tens of thousands per month, depending on the show we're doing or the videos we want to promote, things like that. What you're going to end up seeing is, here's my bet, Democrat PAC or something, or a Democrat-aligned media interest is going to say, we represent a bunch of these big podcasts on the liberal side that are on YouTube, but they don't do so well. Now, we've got a $50 million budget for the year, but we don't know if we want to spend that on YouTube ads if you guys aren't promoting us and they're not being seen by people anyway. YouTube will then be like, let's do a deal. Then when you go to the front page of YouTube as a conservative, all of a sudden you're only getting liberals.
Right.
And it's because YouTube says, look, they bought a $50 million package. So their ads are going to appear all over the place. Banner ads, video display ads, and they're going to start popping up in the algorithm more often.
So they're going to ignore your personally identified profile algorithm and then force feed you.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.